Today I'm doing a chatty get ready with me featuring a fresh makeup look on my over 50 mature skin. That's coming up next. Welcome back, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50 where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Today it's going to be just a fun, casual, chatty get ready with me. I've got some new products I want to try, some old favorites I'm hauling out from the makeup bins, and a few things I just want to fit in to see how they look on my mature over 50 skin. If you're new here, a very special welcome to you. I hope you'll consider subscribing and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I shopped my stash today and pulled out some things that I haven't tried for you guys yet, a few times of my own. I got a couple of products that are brand new to me and a few old favorites that I remember from last summer, and I'm pulling them out to see if I love them just as much as I used to. As always, all the products will be listed and linked below, and they'll also be over on the blog, so they'll be easy for you to find. And with that, let's get into it. I have my face all prepped with my serums, moisturizers, and of course my sunscreen. For primer today, I'm going to be using the Catrice Prime and Fine. It's called Fresh It Up. It kind of has a little bit of a dewy glow, and I thought that would be fun today. Put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to focus that mostly just in the center of my face. I always like to make sure that I get my primer underneath my eyes where I really want my concealer to hang on. For eyeshadow primer, I'm going to be using an old favorite. This is the CoverGirl Lid Lockup. I haven't used this in a while. I'm not sure if you've heard about it, but it's a nice little eyeshadow primer. Just going to put a thin layer of that on each lid. Then I just tap that in lightly with my fingers. For my brows, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Brow Retractable Pencil. I love this guy. It's so inexpensive and so quick. I can just take the fat side of this pencil and really whip through my eyebrows in just a couple of minutes. Do you ever wake up and all of a sudden you've got an eyebrow that's like a foot long? That happens to me all the time. So hence the eyebrow scissors here. There we go. Got that guy taken care of. For foundation, I'm going to pull out an old favorite. I really love this during the warmer months, particularly into the summer. This is the Missha BB Cream. Have you heard about this? This is really one of my favorite foundations. It's so lovely and it looks so weird when it first comes out. It almost looks gray, but the finish it gives on the skin is just glorious. I use the color number 21 in this, and it is difficult to figure out what color to get in this foundation because you can't really tell online. You know how tough it is to buy foundations online. Fortunately, I got lucky with my first pick. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand. See how it just looks gray when it first comes out? It's really weird how it changes color and looks so lovely. I always like to start with a foundation brush first and just move that all over the skin. It's raining today and it's so cozy. I'm looking out at the ocean. You guys know I look at the ocean when I do my makeup and it's all gray and misty. It just feels like soup weather, which is good because no one's leaving the house. So at least I'd rather have the rain while we have to stay home. I got most of my garden planted yesterday. I put the tomatoes into the greenhouse and the basil. I have 3 cherry tomato plants and 2 standard tomato plants and 1 big basil plant. So I'm hoping to have enough basil to match with my tomatoes. And then in the garden outside, I planted parsley, arugula, and kale. And I inherited a whole bunch of strawberry plants from the person that had my particular bed in the community garden before me. So I'm not sure how they're going to turn out, but I'm excited about fresh homegrown strawberries. And then the only things that I'm looking for in addition to what I already have are a couple of zucchini plants, and I want a pickling cucumber and a standard cucumber. I love cucumbers. So that's my garden update. Have you planted your garden yet? This Missha BB Cream is so fabulous. It just has the most beautiful look on the skin, and I'm really liking it with that more dewy primer underneath it. I think it gives just a beautiful natural look. For concealer, I'm going to be using a new product. This is the Hey Honey Trick and Treat Concealer. I haven't even used it yet. I think I got it in one of my boxes. So we'll see how it works out. Just going to put a little bit on my finger and tap that underneath both eyes. It would be nice if I could find another concealer that I love as much as my Pretty Vulgar concealer. This feels really creamy going on, which I like. It's a good sign for me. This feels a lot like the Pretty Vulgar concealer. I'm curious how it's going to wear during the day. Then I'm just going to tap that in with my sponge. I'll have to say that looks beautiful. I've never even heard of this brand, have you? It looks really, really pretty. Good coverage. The color is nice. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to set it down with my powder, but I always set my concealers anyway. This looks a little creamier, so I'm going to give it a little bit of time to dry down, tap it out again, and then I'll place some setting powder over it. Wow, for now, this stuff's going right on my makeup table. That's where I put the really good things. For bronzer, I'm going to be using my Thrive Cosmetics bronzer. This is such a pretty color. It's the color Rhea, and it's just a lovely, lovely, soft neutral. It blends in really well. It's such a pretty look. I always start with just placing my concealer first, and then I go back in with a big fluffy brush and blend it all out. Things are really, really quiet in my town. There's hardly any cars out on the road, I suppose, as there should be. Everyone's supposed to be staying home, and they really are. I live in an area where there's a lot of state parks within just a few miles, and all the parks are closed, all the walkways are closed. It's really quiet in town. I'm in California, as you probably know, and we've been on stay-at-home orders for, gosh, I think a couple weeks now. I can't even really remember. It's all just blended together. Didn't March seem like it was a year and a half long? I wonder if April's going to be like that too. Now that that concealer's had a few minutes to dry down, I'm going to go ahead and tap it out again with my sponge and then set it with my e.l.f. HD setting powder. I like to set my under eyes with this little angled brush from e.l.f. It just seems to work really well and get into those little corners. So I just tap a little bit onto my brush, tap it off, and then gently place that underneath my eyes. Once I have that setting powder placed, I go back in with my sponge and then just gently tap it. I'm curious to see how that stays put. Now that I have my under eyes set, I'm going to go in with my Coty Airspun powder and just set the T-zone on my face. I just use a big fluffy brush from e.l.f., tap it in, tap off any excess, and then just very gently place that around the middle area of my face. For blush, I'm going to be using the Flower Beauty Blush Balm. I've used this a couple of times, not on camera. I haven't used it for you guys yet. I'm still on the fence about this. I'm not sure that it works that well for my over 50 skin, but I'm going to try a different application method today than I have in the past. I'm just going to use my fingers. I'd like to tell you what color this is, but I can't read it. So I'll make sure that it's down below in the description box. I'm going to put just a little bit on the back of my hand and then warm it up on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to tap it in with my fingers. It's just a real subtle, very dusty peach color. Can you guys see that? Am I rosier? It definitely gives a very, very fresh, moist look. For a highlight, I'm going to pull out an old favorite. This is Precious Petals from Wet n Wild. I love this highlighter, and it's so affordable. You can see it's just kind of a very soft pinkish tone. It's so pretty. I'm just going to hit the very tops of my cheeks, and then I always like to put a little bit right in the front, and then just with the rest, I just dust over the top of my eyes. I'm going to be moving into eyeshadow now, and I want to create a very natural, very soft look on the eyes. I'm going to be using the Clay Play palette from Tarte Cosmetics. I love this. This palette is so handy. There's so much product in here. I think I'll have it for the next 10 years. To start off with, I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and tap it into this cream color and place that all over my lid from top to bottom. I want to find out from you guys what you've been doing to keep yourselves busy while you're staying at home. So put it down in the comments below. Maybe we can learn from you of things that we can do to keep ourselves occupied. Now I'm going to take a crease brush and dip it into this real soft camel color here and just create a little bit of depth in my crease area. This palette is so good for a soft everyday look. It's really one of my favorite go-to palettes for that. Now I'm going to take a blending brush and just blend those two colors together so it's a real smooth, seamless look on the lid. Now I'm going to take my flat brush and dip it into this highlight color here and use that for my brow bone highlight and also a little on the lid. Doesn't that just make the nicest little highlight up there? It just is so pretty. Now I'm going to take that same color on my finger and just tap it in the center of both lids. That's it for the eyeshadow look. Some days I just really love a very clean, very fresh, natural looking eye, and I think the palette just does a beautiful job of it. I'm going to hop off now and do my tight lining and my mascara, and I'll be right back. For tight lining, I used the Thrive Infinity Waterproof Eyeliner. This is really a pretty liner, and it's in the color brown. I'm not sure if they call it brown, but it's the tone brown. The real name will be down below. For mascara, I used the Essence in the green tube, and I haven't used this in several months and I forgot how good it is. Look at how thick and long my lashes look. This stuff is less than $5 or around $5. It's really an amazing value. For lips, I'm going to be using Lead the Way from Maybelline. This is one of their lip crayons. To pair with it, I'm going to be using the NYX lip liner in the color Nude Suede Shoes. This is Lead the Way. I just love that color. It's just a dusty neutral pink. It's a nice combination, isn't it? And just to bump it up, I'm going to top it off with the Luminoso Gloss from Milani. Here we have the finished look. There were so many winners in this look for me. First of all, the Misha BB cream is just so very good. My complexion looks natural and dewy and glowy. I think the combination of the dewy primer paired with the Misha really gave it a pretty look, and I'll probably continue to do that in the future. The blush balm from Flower Beauty, I'll have to say I'm liking it better than any other time I've worn it before. I think applying it with the fingers is the way to go. It's such a subtle color, but it looks very, very natural. I think it's perfect for just a fresh, dewy look. So far, I'm loving the Hey Honey Under Eye Concealer. This is the first time I've used it. The color was good. It was very, very creamy and moisturizing going on. It felt really good. It did take a while to dry down, and I had to tap it out a couple of times. I'll keep you guys posted probably in my monthly favorites for April about how this performed. I'm loving the eye look from this Tarte palette. Every time I've used this Tarte palette, I've been so impressed. I think that this is such a great buy. I believe it's around $20-ish, and for that price with all the shadows you get and all the bronzers and contour colors you get, I think it's such a great value, and I've never been disappointed. Loving the brown tight lining from Thrive, and of course the Essence mascara. I just forgot how good this is. I think I'm going to leave it on my makeup table. I'm really enjoying using it. And last, the Lead the Way from Maybelline. These are the color sticks with the Luminoso from Milani. I think that's just such a good combination. I want to thank you for joining me for this fun get ready with me. I hope I didn't chat your ear off. If you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. You guys know that it just tickles me when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me, especially during these crazy, strange times. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.